Hello and welcome, I'm Peasant, and in this playthrough I'm going to be taking on Sweden 6 with Green. So, hey Green, you're my favourite, always was my official favourite. I flirt with other spirits sometimes, but yeah, just love Green. So cool. So my first decision is just to do with Sweden being funky little funksters. I've got to add an extra town somewhere. Not sure. Oh yeah, so I've got to add, so it's this bit here, royal backing. So that kind of accelerates it a little bit. I suppose probably I want to be thinking about like yeah, probably put towards the coast. Not sure. This is my first attempt at this particular fight, so we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so probably going to go with the standard opening gambit of stem gift and try and destroy a building. Probably one of these. It's a tricky one though because you need the sacred site in order to target it. But I'm sure he will know this. Wizened green veterans. So we need that extra energy to start with as well. But this presence can go anywhere. So that kind of makes me think that maybe I want to place that presence in here. I've also got this presence which is restricted to jungle or wetlands. So I'm going to put that presence in here. And yeah, going to go with stem gift. I could even destroy the town that gets built here. But I think I'm just going to prevent this ravage and be done with it rather than... And just try and clear the interior first, maybe? We'll see. This is my... Yeah, as I said, this is my first attempt at this particular matchup, so... And here's something else. This Defend 2 is not going to be enough against Town and Explorer with Sweden. So this is what I need to defend for. Is that actually something I can do? I need to... No, I don't think that is viable. So I'd have to prevent this ravage as well if I was going to try and keep the unhealthy. Except that this is only a 1 blight ravage, so I'm not so worried about it. So I'm going to probably let that go. It's a shame about the Dahan, but, you know, I've got to take care of business. Can't just go around just being sentimental all over the place. So we'll allow this build. I mean, I will probably just go around being sentimental as much as possible because I do enjoy a little bit of that. But yeah, and I think I'm just going to start working on this lot here. Yeah, just prevent this ravage. So yeah, and if I can clear out these inner lands, then that's just great. And I see that project it's got a way to go. All right, so this turn, probably want to gain a power card. So we're going to prevent this ravage. We're going to let this ravage happen. I mean, I might be able to rescue these Dahan. Not that I'm just this isn't sentimentality. I would never be sentimental about my Dahan. Yeah, let's gain a minor power card. I'm just yeah, I need the energy for Overgrown Knight. That's right. It's been a while since I played green. It feels odd that it's been so long. Okay, so encompassing ward actually does mean I will have to defend in here next turn. That's kind of got some value. It's got the water as well, which means that this defend 2 will kind of become defend 4. But yeah, it's not going to happen soon enough for these chaps. We could just be like, nah, sod it. We're going to go Lands of Haunts and Embers. Just say nah. We can't use Enticing Splendor because there's blight everywhere. It's a shame. Those Swedes, they all look so clean cut, you know, but actually they're just making the place filthy. It's horrifying. Yeah, we want to go down the plays track, I think. Actually, this is more to the point in here for this ravage, this upcoming ravage. Okay, so again, this is good for our growth. And encompassing, well, we're just going to prevent this ravage outright. This is just a really great card. Encompassing ward does nothing for us. Not that we could play it, but yeah, it doesn't do anything for us right now. So I have to question my decision with that. Okay, so overgrow in a night. Again, I'm thinking maybe to go into our less, our you know, our mountains and sands, because we're just not that good at placing presence in mountains and sands compared to placing everywhere else. And so in this ravage, we're gonna prevent that one. This one we're going to allow, and it's a bit sad, but I'm sorry. And again, I think we allow this build, but prevent the ravage. We just need to kind of flip over to damage, to actually doing some damage or making lots of fear at some point. Okay, so we're going to prevent this ravage and probably prevent this ravage. Yeah, so what we probably want is just something like jungle hungers or something like that to actually do some damage at some point. A kind of fairly cost effective. So we could use Field's Choke to try and stop them flirting with my Dahan, but I mean we could move this one in here, which should help. Feels like it's not priority, but yeah, actually, yeah, this is reasonable because this will be putting enough Dahan into this corner here that if for example I don't do anything, they will still destroy the town in there on the ravage. Yeah, it doesn't feel that useful. The island does look slightly messy. Okay, so we've got 2 ravages that we're going to be preventing, because I'm going to get this presence from here. Then we've got coastal builds. I think that's the call. And we're going to gain a power card as well, so it's going to be a minor power because we're still pretty broke. But we are just going to have to switch over to mages at some point. So we like this moon in green. Devouring ants, huh? I think we go with moon and green because it's going to empower our creepers town to mortar. And it's, yeah, actual fear and progress, and it's cheap. And defending is horrible against the Swedes. It's just horrible, so... I mean, sap the strength of multitudes might be okay if we had a single air card. It might make it a bit more... Actually, no, this has still got a place. We could easily put a presence in this coastal jungle. And then those Dahan can clear that out. I mean, that would be a very cheap way of clearing that land. And we are going to... Yeah, I think I'm going to go for sap here. Actually, no, I don't think I am. I'm going to trust my instincts and go with Shadows of the Burning Forest. Instincts. Trust in them. Because I can actually just push out with this. And this is going to be actually making progress for me. And now we actually... Oh, no, we don't have these. We need one more greenery. Oh, we're going to have another greenery. So we should be able to do some stuff here. And we are just... Oh! Oh, I put the presence in there. That's just a mistake. Oh, I have to do all this undoing. Okay, so let's actually put this in the place that makes sense. And then do all that again. But this is going to be nice. We're going to be placing a lot of presence. Which is always good. Always good. Alright, so... Okay, so I didn't need to undo that because I could have just used these. But this makes more sense to put these in awkward lands like this, these mountains and deserts and stuff. So we will proliferate for in here. Yeah, proliferate in there. We'll overgrow in a night. Oops, yeah, it's just... It actually makes sense to just have one in each, because then you've kind of got the... You can make it a sacred site if you want to, pretty easily. Okay, and we've got some defend 2. Not that it matters because we're preventing both ravages. Just preventing them. Wow, we might even still have a healthy island and be able to use steady regeneration for free if we're really lucky. We probably won't be lucky. And again, do we want to prevent the build or do we want to prevent the ravage? I think, again, we want to prevent the ravage. Okay. Danger of flirtation here. High odds, but I'm about to push them, so just ignore that. Okay, yeah, so let's just make this coastal ravage just not a problem anymore. So we'll push them out of there. And then we've got some stemming to do. And we've got how many creepers? We can actually destroy a city and a town if we do this right. So yeah, let's just do this. Oh, I don't have presence in there. That was the that was the reasoning behind having a presence in there. Ooh, slightly inaccurate. Tut tut. Okay, we can make this less horrible, but we can just ignore that. We should be able to do this defend 4 fairly easily, so I could actually defend that if I get to defend 4, which just means using encompassing ward and field choke next turn. So I think we'll do this in here. And I think this desert is maybe a good place to cluster people. Not sure. Not sure. And we've got our stemming and creepering. So if we stem, then we can destroy in a mountain. If we do this in a mountain or sands, we can actually clear too. But this is interesting. Or it could just mean that I don't have to worry about this ravage. That's also very, very tempting. Because here is nice for the defend because it, of course, has actual Jahan in. And because the ravage will happen before the explore, that will solve our flirtation problem. So I think I'm going to look to defend this space here, prevent this ravage, and if I clear this, that's actually better than trying to extract maximum value from Creeper's Tear, I think. I do have one more bit of creeping, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so preventing this one, defending this one. Remember, we need to defend 4. But if we use ward, we should be good. Ward in addition to this, and I don't think I've ever had a healthy island this long, ever, ever in my life. Can we get away without reclaiming here? Is that also is that a worthwhile thing to try and do? See, we've got our really useful proliferation and overgrow in the discard pile. We could gain a new card. We've got these builds here, but these should be very preventable if we reclaim. Except the problem is that these we actually can't grab from our kind of used presence for that for the purpose of those cards. So I think our destroyed presence. I mean, so I think. Yes, I think it's good to go with this turn because it means I can use Gift of Proliferation and Overgrow next turn. So I think I will go with this. And I'm going to go with another minor power, I think. Though we are going to have a chunk of energy, it's tempting to go for a major. It is pretty tempting to go for a major power. What would I forget if I was going to forget something? No, I think I will go for a minor power. This is probably my last minor power. Oh wow, Dark and Tangled Woods. Some good stuff in here. Some good stuff. Purifying Flame could help keep the island healthy for longer, which could be reasonable. Dark and Tangled does have just great elements. It's great for getting our creepers going. And getting some actual fear going is good. Quicken is just a great card. But we might be at the stage of the game where it's just we've got too much damage sitting out. So like after the build here, that's a city. That's too big to. So I think Quicken we're a bit late for Quicken. Purifying Flame though, we've only got one Sand Blight. So I think we are we're Dark Entangling. And so we don't even need to play Encompassing Ward now. We need to prevent this ravage. We don't need to, but I think it's good. And we can Dark and Tangled Woods in here, which is 3 defense, which is what we need. And then we're going to reclaim next turn anyway, so we could just play this and rearrange our Dahan a little bit. Though probably actually we don't want to, unless no, not while there are still cards. There's nowhere good to push these Dahan. So let's not play Encompassing Ward. Don't think there's any benefit to playing it. Okay, so we'll darken Tangled Woods in here. And just defend doesn't matter. Just put a little bit more in there. Each player removes an explorer from a land with a Dahan. Well. Okay, let's do that one. And then we'll prevent that ravage. Okay, so yeah, we did prevent the flirt there. So yeah, this one might get flirted with, but I don't think there's. I suppose if I push this Dahan into a jungle, then I know that they're not going to be flirted with. I mean, that actually probably is that's a worthwhile thing to do, unless this town push is more relevant. These are both horrible. The town push isn't going to make any difference there. So I think I will push this Dahan into this jungle because I know that that's not going to come up as a tier 2 card. And this flirty, I am often pretty slack with paying attention to that flirtation effect, but it is, it's a serious effect, okay? Very serious. Okay, so we've got these 2 ravages. So in order to do the plan, I need to reclaim. And this encompassing ward, I'm starting to think it was not a useful choice. So, especially against Sweden. So I think I'm going to go with a major power with encompassing ward kind of in the crosshairs. Jungle Hungers, huh? Well, this is a card. This really is a card. Just in case you're in any doubt about that. Land Thrashes, with the island's still a bit healthy for that. I think this is also a fantastic card for what we're doing here. But I think Jungle Hungers is good. We can actually start destroying some stuff, and it has great elements. So let's get rid of encompassing ward, and we will just about be able to afford to use Jungle Hungers and use these 2. Oh, ooh, this is interesting. What I might do here is add a presence from here instead of from here because of this particular situation of wanting to place a presence with these. I think, yeah, so it's only when you add via growth that you can use these destroyed ones. And because of this particular, the island is still somehow healthy, so I am going to do this way. It's unusual that gets to happen. Let's make a sacred site down here. That looks like something that I really don't want to forget. Oh, let's actually do the thing I'm saying I'm doing. So that shouldn't cost me any energy because the island's still healthy. Yeah, nice. Okay, so I think we're going with these 2 to solve those 2 problems. Jungle Hungers to actually do some damage with Threshold. We've got good creeping. Got great creeping. And there is a jungle builds here, but you don't have the energy to do anything else. We could Shadows of the Burning Forest. That actually works really well. We can push this lot out of here into one of these spaces. Oh, we don't have presence in here. That's actually a pretty big deal. We need to have presence in there to use that. So I will undo. We want to be able to respond to the Explorer as well, because depending on what the Explorer is, we might want to destroy all the stuff in one of these lands or one of these lands. We want to stay flexible. So Shadows, we're still going to want to Shadows though. That's all of our plays. Okay, so we overgrow into here. And we Gift of Proliferation into here. So now that Gift of Proliferation is basically just for elements now, so we're going to be switching to Dark Tangle. So this is a good candidate for forgetting. Each player removes an explorer or a town from a land of sacred site. So this is just actively not something we want to see. I suppose we'll remove from this one because this is a more appetizing Jungle Hungers target right now. Yeah, and I will go with safety first rather than trying to milk the extra fear. And we'll just prevent that ravage and this ravage. I'm almost tempted that maybe on my next growth phase, I'll just do this just to place the extra free presence. This is not a position I've been in before. Okay, so we've got jungle ravages. So we could even just clear out the jungles with shadows, and we could just clear that out. It feels like we're wasting a lot of damage potential, but it also means we basically get a turn off. You know, sometimes you just want a day off. This dark and tangled... Yeah, so this only works in mountain and jungle. So if we are going to push and then destroy, this is our... One of these is the place. And it's not about to build, so that I don't feel strongly about doing that. We could push these into here and then destroy all of that. But again, I think we definitely want to make sure we're destroying a city with all this. This being in jungle means that it's very, very we can deal with this so easily. I think I'm actually going to maximize damage because, as you notice, we're still in Terra 1. We've got a long way to go. And we're actually, yeah, we're kind of not running out of time exactly, but we're into the 3s already. We've also got the Creeper's Tear. Ooh, I'd not thought of that. Oh, yeah, so we can solve this with Creeper's Tear. Oh, no, we're already solving this. Okay, let's just do some of it. That'll help. So I think I'm just going to... Yeah, it's so much harder for us to defend in these sands. I'm going to put Jungle Hungers in there. Yeah, we could just destroy this city as well in here with Creeper's Tear. And that makes our defense job in there way easier. I mean, in fact, Dark and Tangled Woods just deals with it. So let's destroy this. So that's a fear card, and then we could do this in here. Lovely job. Okay, right. So we've got that Ravage covered with Dark and Tangled Woods. Do I want to take a slow turn, like almost like a lightning style turn? So this Ravage is... that problem is solved, and then what are our subsequent problems? Running out of time is obviously a problem, but I think we're okay on that. It's almost... we could just reclaim and just keep on jungle hungering. I think that's probably our best bet, actually. We can just switch into Dark and Tangled instead of Gift. Overgrowth we can actually switch over to using for Fear if you've got the spare energy. We're not going to have the spare energy. But yeah, I think we want to be being furiously hungry. I think that's our best bet. Because we can jungle hungers every single space on the map except this mountain here. I probably just want to bear that in mind. That'll just be have a slight priority for hitting that land. So yeah, I think I will reclaim rather than trying to force value out of this. Because we look on target to just keep the island healthy for ages, so there's no rush. And again, we're not that wealthy energy-wise. We're really not that wealthy energy-wise. We can't even afford to jungle hungers and something else that costs. Though we can defend in there with using these to get all enveloping green, as long as we get the 2 water there. So yeah, let's gain a mind power, hopefully get something useful that's cost 0. And maybe we don't jungle hungers this turn, actually, thinking about it. Maybe we wait so that we can be a bit more efficient. Though knowing what this level 3 is actually going to be really useful to be able to respond by just clearing one of the lands that they're planning to build in. Savage and more beasts. We're not going to get that threshold. A fear and damage, though, for no energy is acceptable. But yeah, if we just reclaim jungle hungers over and over again, we're just not... That's not great. It's not great. This is still a free fear, though we don't have many sacred sites. We've only got 1 sacred site. And we do have a few clear lands on the map, so actually this probably isn't absolutely terrible. Maybe that's just the wrong way of looking at it. So we can't afford to jungle hungers every turn, so we're going to be alternating between jungle hungers turns and between not jungle hungers turns. So if we're looking at it from that point of view, maybe some blight room, because I mean this is real damage. I mean, it's in our best lands. Pull Beneath is 2 damage in. Actually, this complements Creeper's Tear pretty well, so I think I am going to go with Creeper's Tear. So this is going to cost me nothing. So let's make a Sacred Site somewhere. So we've got Sacred Site coverage of all of these lands. Let's put a Sacred Site in one of these. This one has a bit more utility. If this one goes down, then I've got good coverage there. Okay, so given that Jungle Hungers destroys everything, yeah, I think it's still the one to go with. But we're not expecting to use it next turn. That's the key, I suppose. Then if we play this and this, then that's our defense in here. And then this is just some free fear, which is pretty cool. We can even use it to deal with our one land that's not in range of Jungle Hungers. So that's okay. Just realised there is the threshold on there. How viable is that? We just need... Actually, Pull Beneath, I didn't realise, but Pull Beneath is actually going to make this threshold on All Enveloping Green pretty viable. So we can actually start removing Blight as well. Each player may push up to 3 explorers and towns for an inland land. Okay then. So we can just prevent this build. That's pretty good. So that's... Where do we push to? Alright, yeah, so we don't know where the explorer's going to be. And I don't feel like jungle hungering in this land is that worthwhile. So I could just push into this, because this is a pretty good candidate for being jungle hungered. Or we could push in here because it's going to be irrelevant after this turn. After this ravage, there'll be 2 explorers in there and that doesn't really matter. Nah, we'll push into here. Okay, each player chooses a different land with Dahan. Invaders take 1 damage per Dahan there. Well, okay. I mean, clearing that land does have some value. Just not that much. We'll allow the build. We've got the Dark and Tangled Woods. Mountain and Jungle. Okay, so this is... The Jungle Hungers has kind of come at a funny time, because we've basically got... It just doesn't matter that. We don't have a serious situation here. I'm not sure I'm being that clear with what I mean there, but we don't need to respond to mountain or jungle. It's not like these wetlands that are kind of keep big and scary. They're just kind of... So I think what I'm going to do is Jungle Hungers in here. And then we can kind of protect this land here that's not jungle hungerable. That's the technical term for it. Push a town into there, but there is no town. Yeah, that's there'll be no town pushing here. So yeah, this is... So if Jungle Hunger's in here... Okay, and where are we with our cards? 2 cards, 2 away from Terror 3. Ooh, almost makes me think I want to go with using Overgrowth for Fear next turn. If I can get to Terror 3, it's just all the Fear cards do so much more damage. Okay, we've got Stem. Have we only got... Oh, we've got these Dahan as well. We could push them somewhere, but actually they're a bit more useful here than they would be over here, because they will eventually fight back. And there's only 1 town on the map. Okay, fine. And it's in the place that we probably, if we were going to stack things up, that's where we'd probably leave it. Okay, so we can destroy a city though using Stem. So this is a good candidate, because it's a city on its own, so it's less appealing from the point of view of Jungle Hungers. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. This one is in with Blight, so it's a bit more urgent, but it's also not really that urgent. Yeah, let's clear out this land. Oh no, this is inland. Let's clear that one. And we'll Creeper's Tear and Creeper's Tear. So now we're just 5 fear short of getting the getting to Terra 3 next turn, so I think that's what I'm going to aim for. So, do I want to push this town anywhere? I just don't think there's any advantage to pushing this town anywhere. Pushing these Dahan, I think these Dahan are basically they're in the best place they could be right now, so we just won't use that. Okay, so this turn is going to be brought to you by Fast Fear. So we're not going to reclaim. Tempting to add extra presence, especially as it's free. I mean, just getting all the value. There are these pathetic ravages here. Oh, I've just realised I could have pushed this Dahan into here. I may as well do that. I just kind of forgotten that this Dahan existed. I mean, this Dahan's also useful over here, but there you go. Hey ho. Alright, so I mean, preventing a build is pretty significant. Right. So yeah, we're making Fast Fear as our priority, so we're going to be Dark, Overgrow. Pull Beneath is going to be pretty nice as well. We might even be able to use this ability. Oh, we need 3 water for that. That's a lot of water. It just feels greedy to just place as much presence as possible. I actually think gaining a power card is better. It is just better. But I think it's going to be a minor power. Okay, Elemental Boon, huh? Called Isolation. I think Rain of Blood, possibly. Or even, I mean, Root Biters is pretty nice, but we've kind of got... We've already got a little bit of town pushing. More town pushing than we really need. Though, actually, you know, if we could push multiple towns, that is kind of ideal. But I think I'm going to go with Rain of Blood here. It's cheap. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to go with. Okay. So. It's a bit weird how they order these. Okay, let's add a presence to a jungle or a wetland. Let's oh yeah, let's make sure we prioritize down here. This would have been very easy to forget that there's an actual no sacred site in this corner. Okay, so we're overgrowing in a night. Let's just remember how I don't use it like this. So you need to be in with invaders. Okay. And Dark Entangled Woods. And this is basically just for the Fast Fear. This is more fear. Gift of Proliferation is going to do nothing for me apart from Creeper's Tear. However, yeah, so we'll use Pull Beneath instead, because that will still get to level 3. Pull Beneath is going to be 2 damage in sand or wetland with my presence, so we can do something in these. Yeah, this actually looks like a pretty nice turn. Okay, so we can Overgrow in a night. It's just to gain 3 fear. And we can Dark Entangled Woods. Just to gain more fear. Gets to Terra 3. And we've got more defend. Fine. Defend 9 in all coastal lands. Each player chooses a different land with Dahan. Invaders take 2 damage per Dahan there. Well, we'll just do this, I suppose. Remove... Okay, I don't know what that one was. Okay, so this Ravage, we will allow this Ravage. Be very magnanimous. So yes, you can do that. But we now just need to destroy this last city. We might even be able to just do it now. But first, I'll just rain them in, just throw blood all over them first. Yeah, I think... Oh no, there's this city as well. It's not... We're not there just yet. So, this is very jungle hungerable. If we were to try and finish this off with jungle hungers, there would be another city build in here. So yeah, I think if I pull Beneath in here and finish off this city, and then I think I've got 2 more uses of this. Finish off that town. Then we should be in a decent position to win by destroying this city. So, jungle and wetlands. So they're going to build a town here and here and here, but that doesn't matter because if we destroy that city, then jobs are good. Just to keep on gaining minor powers. Ooh, gift of power. Hello, hello, my old friend. Yeah, so we're going to finish with the jungle hungers, and as usual, I'm going to try and now that I can see the victory, I'm just going to try and do it quickly. So not optimally, just quickly. So yeah, just sanity check. These are just town builds. There is going to be a town build in here, then I can jungle hungers and clear that. Okay, so we just need the threshold on jungle hungers. It's just yep. I didn't actually check the ravages, but it's okay. It's okay. In my haste, I actually just don't think this is going to do anything. Will it just add from my... Yeah. And we've got a bit more defend there. So we're just racing through to the jungle hungers and hopefully the win. Hopefully. Don't know why I'm thinking about this. I promised to do it quickly, and then I'm just like, nah, actually, I'm just going to spend ages. We'll allow this ravage. We'll allow that ravage. And we'll allow this ravage as well. We're going to allow this build too. We'll prevent this build. Okay, so now the jungle hungers will finish. Lovely stuff. Anyway, that was Green versus Sweden 6, pure solo. So yeah, that went pretty decently, fairly hitch-free. I mean, Green is particularly strong against Sweden. All their scary stuff is on their ravage, and you can just prevent their ravage. So, so anyway, thanks so much for joining me. I've been Peasant, and if you like the video, and until next time, keep it spiritual. Oh, so much cheese.